My name is Jamila Hassan from Mombasa, Kenya. I'm a blogger, creative, and a photographer. I showcase Mombasa through photography, and this is my journey. So I have a blog, it's called lifeinmombasa.com. So I showcase the history, the modern day life, and anything about Mombasa. I was just tired of seeing what was in the news, like I started there 2014. So at that time there was a lot of insecurities in Mombasa, and I was like, okay, I live here, it's okay, and everything, we're going through the life, it's okay. So I was like, okay, when you look in the news, it's always about the insecurity that's happening. Or if it was not about the insecurity, it was those mythical, stereotypical stories that happen, ghost stories and stuff. So I was like, wait, I live here and it's okay. And there's so many places that people don't know about. That's why people are not talking about it. So I got a camera and I just started documenting the places I visit. Like any place I go, I would take a photo. I would talk about the food. So I started on Instagram. So I just showcased the pictures on my Instagram. And then I was using a hashtag Life in Mombasa. So as I was going, a friend of mine was like, why don't you go fully with it? Get a domain, get a website, and write these articles about Mombasa. Tell the story through your eyes, through a resident who lives here. All these things that you're going through. Tell the world that. Why keep it? So just started doing it. Because I was blogging already. If I go back to my background, I studied in the US. I did my undergrad there. So I was blogging there already because of the culture shock and the cultural difference in the US, and I didn't know how to channel it. So I found out about blogging. So I used to blog about it, all the issues I go through, the things I see, I don't understand it. So I just used to blog. So I knew what blogging is. So I had an idea. So I said, when my friends why don't you do it fully? You know about blogging and this, just do it. Get a blog and write about it. Learning. I learn every day. There's hidden gems that you find out about it every day, and meeting people, because meeting people, you find out these people who exist that are not in the textbooks, are not in our books, they're not even known, and they're part of the history, or they're part of a change in Mombasa. So it's amazing. It's just amazing. Okay, when I started, people were reluctant to tell me information. Why do you need it? Do you want to sell it? Or why should I give you this information? Who are you? So are you media? Are you gonna change this story? Because how people change stories and stuff. They're like, are you gonna change this story? So people were reluctant to tell me information. But over time, when they saw the work and when I started growing, people started telling me all this information, giving me access and things like that. I think it's the love for Mombasa. I love Mombasa, the culture, the history, everything about Mombasa, how we live, how we go about every day. So that just keeps, and I'm I want to tell this story. I don't want somebody else to come and tell this story. I want to tell this story about Mombasa, so that's what keeps me motivated. Banker I was a customer service, so my background is communication. I did communication in college, so I know how to write, at least, and I've learned along the way. So yeah, and I think more so what made me do it is my passion for Mombasa. Just do it, don't wait for somebody to do it, just do it. Like I said, just do it, and passion. Life in Mombasa. It's the food, it's waking up, you wake up in the morning and you can get those packed potatoes, yeah, and it's all the bajias, and it's walking in Old Town, and you people greeting each other, and the kids playing in the streets, it's going to the beach and swimming on the weekends. That's life in Mombasa. Just collaboration. Look for people who are in the same interest and do the same kind of things, and do collaboration. Even if it's it doesn't have to be the same, but even if it's different, like from a different city, or they do it differently, because you learn from each other and you see it in a different perspective. You know, when you work with somebody, you see it in a different perspective that you didn't see it, and it makes it better. Because, you know, like doing differently, it will help you like grow and learn as well. Like that's one of the things like it has helped me grow, is working with other people a lot. Like it could be not known like on the blog and stuff, but I've worked with a lot of people, and just doing collaboration, it's amazing. Like I've learned a lot, and it has helped me grow. I think it was about the halwa shop. I don't know if you read that, Salim Mansour Halwa, which was like the first East African halwa shop, and how they started, and it's like 3 generations taking care of it. So that I was like, wow, like this was not in the textbook. My parents didn't tell me, my grandparents didn't tell me. Like I just stumbled upon it, and I met the guy he was like the 3rd generation taking care of the shop, making halwa. So they started like before colonization, the Omani Arabs when they came, so 1500s, and they've just been doing it. So I was like, wow, I was so amazed. Currently just blogging, yeah, just kind of trying to document as much as I can. There's a lot about Mombasa that people still don't know, so just trying to get the content, what to do, and yeah, working with other people, other collaborators, yeah. Oh, it's the key, because people will get bored. You know, like, oh, you post like once a month, like people will forget that you exist, you know. So you have to keep posting, you have to keep your readers all the time, even pictures. Like sometimes maybe I wouldn't post on the blog, but I'll make sure on my Instagram there's a picture, on Facebook there's a picture that says a story, because to keep people, you know, like, okay, yeah. And people like, what will Life in Mombasa post today? You know, like to keep people expecting, like, what will it be? And people, because people relate to things, you know. So like, I make sure my post is something that people can relate to, especially people outside Mombasa, you know. And that's one of my target people, is people from outside Mombasa. People who grew up in Mombasa but are not in Mombasa. So they're like, oh my god, I remember this street. And that's one of the things that also kept me going, was when I used to post the pictures, people were like, oh my god, this is the street I used to live in. I left Mombasa 10 years ago and it's still the same, or it has changed, oh my god, you know. And that's the thing that kept me going, because people relate and people kept sharing, you know, like, this is the street I used to live in, thank you so much for capturing that, you know. People being happy about it. So that's the thing that just kept me going and motivated. And you know, I would probably go for a Canon 5D Mark III right now.
Is that the one you use?
No, I use a Nikon, but I want to switch. Actually, that's a funny story. Until now, I still use the D3100, a Nikon, which is an entry-level camera. Yeah, it's like, I think Nikon doesn't even make it anymore. Yeah, so I would love to switch. Yeah, I'm looking into it. Yeah, get a good camera that can capture more the beauty of Mombasa. Go with your passion. Things happen and also change. Before I started doing vlogging, I worked in a bank, by the way, for 4 years. And I used to do Life in Mombasa anonymously, like no one knew. And during the day I was at work and no one knew. Like people know, oh, did you see this page, Life in Mombasa? I'm like, oh really, it's nice. And that's like, it's me right here, you know. So but yeah, just do it. Like, don't wait for somebody else to do it. That's another thing. While you're waiting for something, like an excuse, like, oh, I don't have a camera, or I don't have the money, or I don't have this, somebody else will come and do it, and you'll just be sitting there. Just go and do it with passion. Setbacks, I think more so equipment, getting the right thing, the right camera, like getting the right camera, and also like getting access, getting the information, where to look for the information. That's also another thing. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of history in Mombasa. Some of them have not even been documented, so you're not sure if this is the truth or not, you know. And like, where do you go to get this historic figures, you know, or numbers, or, you know, those kind of things. Like, it was just difficult trying to get the right information and knowing the right person to give you the right information. It's time that people know about Mombasa, like, and with especially like tourists. I remember when I was young, like I would sit like near Markiti or walk, and you'll see buses of tourists coming to Mombasa, you know, from the airport or leaving to go to the airport, like buses and buses. And like, as much, I mean, that was income for so many people, you know, that was a bread and butter for a lot of people. But now there's no tourists coming in because there's so much insecurities. But that has, okay, it has gone down. But a lot of other people in other places are marketing themselves well, you know. So like a person would see maybe Dubai and they'll go to Dubai because Dubai markets themselves so much all the time. So I want to market Mombasa so we can go back to that, seeing tourists coming in, going to hotels and they're fully packed, you know, the beach, they're packed with tourists. That's what we want. That's what I want to see. There's so much to learn. Come learn the history, learn about Mombasa, learn and see the beach, and I mean, enjoy the good weather, which is like all year round. There's always good weather. It's always nice. So yeah, tell them to come. Maybe have a TV show, get more writers, have it like a magazine, you know. Yeah, so people can know about Mombasa and distribute it around the world. Research. Do your research. The internet is a whole lot of knowledge. So do research. So search how to start a blog, how to do it. Ask people who have done it. I always ask people who have done it, how do you do it, and asking questions and working with others. Like I said, when you work with others, you learn. So you learn all these, like, I've learned a lot working with other people, like things like even like when I got the camera, okay, I got a camera, I know. Then I'm like, but how do people edit photos? And somebody's like, there's something called the Lightroom. You need to get it on Adobe, you know, download it, get it, start using it. So then I started using it. Okay, I'm learning online and stuff. Sometimes I'll meet with a friend who like editing and then he'll do something. I'm like, wait, how did you do that? Like, there's this tool. I'm like, okay, I never even knew that. So then I start using it too. So the thing is, like, when you work with other people, you learn a lot. Ask questions, research. Internet is a whole lot of, it's a world on its own. So there's always everything online. So you just get to do it and just learn. On Instagram, Life in Mombasa. On Facebook, Life in Mombasa. On Twitter, Life in Mombasa. And obviously the blog, lifeinmombasa.com.